Okay, I'm fully ready to prepare the ultimate challenge up ahead, which appears to be the minigame island itself. Hey, what's up everyone? I am Daffy Duck here, and I am back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party for the Nintendo 64. So yesterday we have managed to able to play Minigame Stadium, junior forms of that particular minigame house, and today we're about to begin the next mode we can show off, and it appears to be some sort of like a two-parter kind of recording segment, that what appears to be buddy forms of Minigame Island. Now for Minigame Island, for those of you seen our playthrough of Mario Party the Top 100 back in 2018, you do realize about the fact that how Minigame Island works out. Basically, you'll be going through the actual minigames, and then to able to complete your progression, you must able to win certain minigames. Although, unlike the Top 100 version, is the fact that you always have to go through first, second, or third to progress. But it turns out, for the one that started it all, in terms of Minigame Island, is that, well, obviously we need to claim not only first place in certain minigames, but also complete specific objectives. Like as you can see, we are about to be playing as Wario, and also Mario as our companion. And the entire objective is the fact that there are 9 worlds, and in order able to go through the next minigame, well, what else? We need to complete certain minigame objectives. So as you can see, I'm starting this from scratch from new game, just because I did usually still have that previous data back in 2010, but I've decided able to replace that by Wario, just because, well, we just need some Wario, some bit of treatment going on, so. And yeah, every once in a while though is the fact that there might be some Koopa shell spaces that allows you to able to save your progress in a minigame island, and I think there are about 50 minigames in total in order to complete the entire minigame island. So let's begin this off with starting with the first minigame in this entire island. That's what appears to be Coin Block Blitz, and as you can see on that little explanation screen, we need to aim for 10 or more coins, and because if you somehow manage to collect 10 or more coins, then you would able to progress to the next minigame, and vice versa until whenever we get on to, you know, the latest minigames, and as far as I can usually tell, that it's going to be injective based. So it also did the similar thing for Mario Party 2, but we'll get to that more about that until whenever when Sylvester's going to tackle for that game, as I said this before several times already. So as you can see, the first minigame that we've done is extremely easy when you get the hang of it though. And every time whenever you complete the minigame, you get yourselves a 1-up. And if you manage to get your coin counter up to 100, you also get 100, or in this case, you get a 1-up. I keep thinking of Mario Party the Top 100 version for some reason. But anyways, let's move on to the next minigame, which appears to be Coin Block Bash. Sorry for a little bit of a tongue twisting in the end, folks. And basically, the objective in this particular minigame is the fact that once again we need to collect 10 coins. And the only difference is this time is the fact that, well, you're obviously going to be taking control of the hammer. For, you know, just trying to able to break, you know, those breakable blocks as you can see on screen. However though, here's the thing though, is the fact that once you've able to obtain 2 coin bags, then you would able to reach for about 10 coins, no problem. So even then though, pretty easy if you manage to get the hang of this though, although a full warning though is the fact that the actual the beginning portion in Minigame Island is extremely easy as far as the beginning progression goes. Later on though, it gets really tough, especially noticeable in certain luck-based minigames. Well, nowhere near as like luck-based minigames until specifically when we get into Mario Party 2, that game does introduce into ourselves luck-based minigames as far as I'm aware. So anyways, the next minigame we're going to be hopping into is Coin Shower Flower, and we need to collect about 20 or more coins. Thankfully, if you come across into that particular 1 versus 3 minigames, you're always going to be the one of the team, to be more specifically, all by your own. So you can't be the team of 3 or anything like that until Mario Party 2, that in one of the worlds managed to able to spice it up a little bit. So even then though, because that's the thing I liked about minigame coaster in Mario Party 2, which we'll get to more about it until when Sylvester gets into that. But for Mario Party 1, it makes it a little bit more subjectively easy as far as, you know, simple as self-explanatory stuff. It's hard to explain about it sometimes, just because of all the fact that it has not much else to say, apart from the fact that this is Minigame Island, of course. And of course, that, obviously Mario hasn't shown up yet, because obviously we haven't experienced the 2 versus 2 minigame yet. So, yeah, we're able to actually just try to win every single minigames for that front. So, anyways, let's move on to the next minigame, which appears to be Paddle Battle. And yes, once again, we have to rotate the control stick. And the objective on this minigame is to collect 15 coins or higher. So, yeah, I need to prepare for this one. Seriously, it's super painful, and it really hurts my muscles too. But then again though, you have to basically try to aim for 15 coins or more, just because, well, you just feel like trying to do that. Oh, God, dang it. Why is this so agonizingly painful? Even it's bad enough about the fact that, actually I'll discuss more on that later, because I'm gonna have to focus on this minigame, because, oh man, I think my palms are just painful now. Although, to be fair, it wasn't nearly, although, I actually have to be quite honest with you guys, I think, Paddle Battle is easily one of the worst ones, and even, Tug of War. Ah, come on. Ah! God! That must have hurt! That must have really hurt. My palm is now blistering now. Oh god, I think I need some more recovery until specifically the next day or something, or specifically next weekend. As far as you guys should know, that, let's see my previous file. I had 36 lives, and I used Luigi on that particular minigame island, because back in the day, I usually used Luigi a lot. This is most likely because I'm used to playing as Toad in the future games. But anyway, let's move on to the next world, as well as the next next minigame, which is Memory Match. Yeah, the first world only contains 4 minigames, which to be expected by this point. And here we are on to World 2 now, which takes place in some sort of a forest environment. So even then though, for Memory Match, all we have to do here is the fact that we're gonna have to able to match every single panels each time. So even then though, however though, you're gonna have to find all of the pairs, mind you, because if you somehow missed one of them, unfortunately for you, it's the fact that if you somehow fail the challenge of the minigame, you'll lose a life. And if you somehow wasted all of your lives, well, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a game over, unless you're gonna have to restart for your resuming point onto that particular save spot as you previously saved on. So, yeah, unfortunately, I seem to fail this minigame, but as soon as I get enough chances left, specifically, how much life do I got? I've got 7 so far, and if I somehow manage to able to waste all of these extra lives, then basically I'm gonna have to able to restart where the save point spot is. Thankfully, the save spot is actually nearby, or even especially noticeable when if you complete certain worlds, then the actual save spot is actually not that far from here though, I don't think, so that makes it pretty obvious for that point, so anyway, so let's go ahead and just try this minigame again, and hopefully we'll try to able to succeed, as long as we can able just memorize any single parts worth noting for. This minigame can get tricky at points, most notably because every time whenever you revisit this minigame, that most of these little flip panels will shuffle around, so keep that in mind. Especially noticeable because, well, again, if you really want to, what's this? Dang it, no. I don't want a Bowser panel, I just want the 1-up mushroom, matched up in pairs. Anyway, there we go. Whew, that was a bit too close right there. So yeah, something's worth mentioning is the fact that today's day is of course the 27th of September today, in this case in 2020. We're almost nearly towards the end of September already, and because of that though, October is on the horizon. So even then though, we were originally trying to able to finish this Let's Play off, and during at some point in specifically the 11th of October to celebrate our birthday, as far as I'm aware. But unfortunately for the sake of time, that we're just gonna have to do other things first. So, anyway, ground pound, all you have to do is just basically just trying to ground pound every single flat surfaces and stuff like that, and that way you would able to actually win this minigame no problem, or if in this case, complete this minigame challenge just no problem. But then again, the butterflies in that particular minigame its own is actually pretty useless, especially because with the lack of challenge, then you're pretty much guaranteed to able to conquer it all. So, next up we have is the Limbo Dance. So, in this one we have to simply make our way to the end. I really don't know if I might able to get the easy course or the hard course, although I'm also able to give myself my best shot at this. So, in this case, which course is it then? And it appears to be, it looks like I'm gonna be going for the hard course, so, oh boy, this could be tough. Especially noticeable that, again, don't tap A so many times, because if you do tap the A button too many times, then you will fail the challenge. So, oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Whew. That was so shockingly surprising. Especially noticeable that I've seemed to manage to accomplish the hard course for my very first experience of it. So, how's that for that? Okay, before we move on, I'm just gonna have to save my game, just in case if there are some mini games I attempt to able to be not good at, or some of them are, but either way though, we'll see what happens until then. So, thankfully, unlike the ones in Mario Party 2 in minigame Coaster, which by the way is very similar to this, mind you, thankfully this particular minigame island is super generous with you when it comes to giving you extra lives and such. So, at least you can able to actually get yourselves a much more easier experience than minigame Coaster, because minigame Coaster does have 3 difficulties as far as I'm aware, because unlike Mario Party 1 minigame island, I'm presuming that depending on what world you're in, usually in the very beginning it starts off pretty easy. Oh wow, that was really lucky right there. I almost got screwed over by Yoshi, but luckily for me, I did manage to able to make it there first, so whoo-wee. Anyway, it's that during the very beginning in the minigame island, basically it starts off pretty easily, or starts off so easy, but then later on though it gets like a little bit tougher as far as certain stuff as usually happens. So anyway, so let's move on to Piranha's Pursuit, as you can see on screen. And in fact, I'm going to be doing some skateboarding here. And by the way, for that previous minigame that we've already done is the musical mushroom. Basically, it's going to have to, well, get the treasure chest, and that's all you really have to do in that particular minigame. So, nothing special about it, apart from the fact that you can able to actually just, you know, dominate that minigame, no problem. So even though that I consider this the actual main, well, usually the main factor for this point. So, anywho. Okay, not much else to say because of how the fact that, well, we're actually getting very close towards the end in Mario Party of all things before we move on to the next Mario Party game Let's Play, which appears to be Mario Party 2, which again likely until November, and I think some people might able to be looking forward to that, even though the only thing is though, is the fact that one of those commenters still keeps on asking me about the fact that, can you do Winnie the Pooh of Rumbling? Oh god, that was close. Whew. I almost got myself screwed over thanks to that damn last log. If that last log just managed to able to screw me up at the end, I'm gonna throw my controller just right onto that well-placed log. Although not really, just because I'm not exactly too violent or anything like that, so anyway, so now let's move on to either we can able to choose between 2 different worlds. We can either go to World 3, which is essentially down here, or World 5, which if you manage to go up. But for me, let's go in a chronological order because it makes perfect sense in terms of everything else for the most part. So first off, we're going to be hit on to is World 3, and to begin with, let's begin Crazy Cutter, and basically we are doing a Goomba fossil shape, so even though nothing too surprising about it, it's just the fact of the matter is though, is the fact that this will be a piece of cake if you manage to get the hang of this though. But yeah, as far as the actual failed attempts as far as I'm aware, I'm probably not gonna cut those honestly, just because, well, it might be pretty simple and easy if you manage to get the hang of it, though. So either way, though, it looks like... What the hell is up with Peach? Oh my god, she did filled up everything! And she has 0 points. And Yoshi also has 0 points as well, but still. That's very random. That is seriously random. That I've never seen anything like that before. Although there are a few times in Mario Party 2 version of that minigame does a similar thing, which, spoiler alert, it might able to be will be, so... Okay, the buried treasure, so all you have to do is basically just, well, just trying to find a treasure chest, basically. Oh yeah, for Crazy Carter minigame, we've already technically did done. All you have to do in that particular objective is that, well, we have to reach for about 80 or more points in order to be able to progress. So it doesn't matter if you get like 100 or 90 or even 80 in general, then you weren't able to actually just to deal with that no problem. So, this treasure is mine! Haha, take that, Luigi. Even though originally I was going to be able to select Luigi, but because I've already selected him in the minigame stadium, I thought to myself, let's play as Wario for the last time for this game, specifically for this entire Let's Play itself, so... Anyways, next minigame we have is the Desert Dash, and thankfully Mario's gonna team up with me, so because of that though, we have to do, you know, just simply put, just keep on tilting the control stick either left or right, alternatively, and that's all you have to do here, so... Easier said than done. And I, kind of think about it though, is the fact that, since after all this, the fact that this is on Sunday, by the way, I was originally trying to able to do this, as in both Saturday and Sunday, but, I'm gonna have to leave the second part until specifically next Saturday, just because, well, I just feel like trying to do that. And also because of this though, is the fact that since we've almost nearly at the end of this game so far, so anyways, oh no, the tug of war. Before I get into that, for this monstrosity of that particular rotation and control stick type of minigame, I'm gonna have to save my game first, just in case if I have to able to rotate the control stick so many times if I was trying to complete this. Even though for whatever reason, back in about a decade ago now, I actually got super frustrated with this minigame just because you have to specifically do it way more harder than the forms of how it does it from when I attempt to. Okay. Come on. Hopefully this will be done. Thank you. Thankfully, it's only for about 4 seconds. Even though, again, back in the old days, whenever I first time I played the game, that it wasn't until when it gets to like 2010 or something like that, I just got paranoid for that particular minigame because, well, it's usually because of my palms is actually aching a lot. Even because, in addition to playing that, I also played Paddle Battle from the very beginning of Minigame Island, and it's just like, ugh, it's so painful. Anyway, so let's move on to the next minigame, and that's what appears to be Tearing Towers. And by the way, this is the last minigame in World 3, and I don't think they actually managed to able to, well, whenever we get onto World 5, they might able to contain a lot of minigames in World 5, but however, here's what I'm going to do, is the fact that I'm also able to do half the amount of minigames of Minigame Island, as far as I can usually just trying to say about this, because, you know what I mean, it's the fact that the half the amount of minigames, well, specifically, there are 50 minigames in Minigame Island, however, what I'm trying to do here is the fact that I'm also trying to do 25 minigames, if possible, if I was going to able to do, like, one or few parts, so... Anyway, so World 3 is completed, and looks like we are now moving on to World 4. And World 4 is going to take place in the cavern, so because of this though, well, we're just trying to able to win, what else? Some more minigames in the process. So let's see what some of these minigames we might able to consider find. Like, for instance, the Bobsled Run. I don't think we can able to get the new record for this attempt though, I don't think. But I will point it out, I will try my best if I was trying to achieve the high score, or in this case a new record or something. So, Anyway, so let's go ahead and just get this thing started. Wow, looks like Luigi and Yoshi just managed to able to get a very fast start this time. I'm guessing it's probably because of the progression of the CPU difficulty player. But either way, though, enough about that. So let's go ahead and just speed things up a notch, and hopefully without bumping into certain things, most infamously those little walls, bottomless pits, or anything like that. I'm quite surprised that no one else just managed to able to fall down to the bottomless pit so far, and even myself as well. It's clearly because until whenever we get onto Mario Party 2, just to make things a little bit more challenging and much more exciting, and especially noticeable with, you know, with the bobsled is actually a little bit different. But then again though, we'll discuss more about Mario Party 2 until when Sylvester get into that, and during at some point until likely, you know, until November, so... But that can wait though, for a little bit of while, so either way though, let's go ahead and just keep on grabbing some more speed boosts, and hopefully eventually we'll able to win the minigame without a doubt. Even though we were supposed to get a new record, but oh well, we're just gonna have to do it without it, so... Oh well, no big deal, especially because of how the fact that since I did manage to still got the game back in 2010, it's been about 10 years since I actually last had this, but I'm still gonna keep it as it is, despite, you know, some ups and downs with this game, specifically how archaic it was. So, Skateboard Scamper, basically just make it to the finish line, but here's the only downside about this minigame is that, you know, the camera will sometimes screw you up in that perspective, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Although, if you really want to be likely in a nerve-wracking type, then you can able to actually grab the coin back nonetheless if you really want to try to able to grab that, so... Anywho though, not much else I can say for the sake of the forms of Minigame Island. It's a very simple, you know, some sort of like a one-player challenge mode or something like that. You know, it kind of does like that tradition until, you know, when it gets to Mario Party 2, and especially noticeable with Mario Party 6, as in Endurance Alley, and also King of the River from Mario Party 7, and even especially noticeable with, well, what else? Mario Party The Top 100. And even in a smaller scale from the likes of Mario Party Island Tour on Bowser's Tower or something like that. And I think that's as far as I can say about it. Oh yeah, and Challenge Mode from, you know, Super Mario Party, the most recent Mario Party game that we've ever had. I don't think we can get a new Mario Party game for the sake of this year, just because, well, it's pretty obvious, because recently Super Mario Party has been super well, or in this case doing so well, especially not only in terms of critics and reviews alike, but also that the selling points has actually been super good, like 10 million units, which I think is actually, like, it was so good, because, you know, they're bringing back the classic roots again, even though despite, you know, the smallest amount of boards we got in Super Mario Party 1, but let's just hope that the sequel will be able to actually make an improvement until possibly next year, depending if next year will be better or for worse. But then again though, we'll have to wait and see what happens right here, so... Anywho, that most people, or some YouTubers just keeps on commenting on me about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that we like to do certain Let's Plays of Winnie the Pooh's Rumbling Tumbling Adventure, and I said this before already, and I'm gonna say this again, that about the fact the matter is though, yes, I will be able to do that game until at some point, around the same time as when the Winnie the Pooh 2011 film, will be expected to become 10 years old, so... I'm also able to do some research after this, kind of think about it, to see if what film did originally came out, either the UK version or the American version. So, in fact, let me know in the comments. So, and if I don't do some other researches or something, so yeah. Alright, so the final minigame in World 4, as you can see, we have is of course Ghost Guess, and thankfully I did manage to find the correct one, so thank God I don't have to play that minigame again. At least for a little bit anyway. So, and conveniently enough, World 4 is actually completed, and that way you can able to move on to the next world, but let's not go there, just because we're about to be heading back to not only World 3, but we can go to another world which appears to be on the other side, which is of course World 5. So I think the themes of these worlds can be summed up as, for instance, World 1 is a very simple grassy fields kind of environment. World 2 is basically like a forest environment, and World 3 is basically a desert environment, and World 4 takes place in the caverns or something like that. Even though what makes this a little bit weird is the fact that basically, oh no, castaways. And to make matters even much more trickier is the fact that now we need to collect about 30 coins or more, so... And this is what I mean when it comes to the minigame island progression, it starts to get a little bit more tricky and difficult, because in addition to, you know, trying to grab a certain amount of coins, but also, once again, I'm gonna have to deal with this stupid, painful, rotating the control stick kind of moment. Even though it's nowhere near as bad as the Tug of War, or even Paddle Battle, don't forget. But it's just the fact of the matter is, though, there's a lot of controversial minigames out there, even for the first Mario Party game in the series, that's saying a lot, but believe me, it's saying a lot. Anyway, though, how much I'm trying to say? Oh yeah, what's weird about World 4, about the fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that in addition to, you know, it takes place in the caverns, of course, but the weird thing is the fact that it's likely a combination of both fire and ice kind of minigames. Like, we had Bobsled Run, which obviously takes place in the icicle section of the cavern, and also that, I was so close to get that treasure. Getting 3 treasure chests won't be so much of a problem, but of course you do need to aim for 3 treasure chests will be the easiest method to do so. But I think, alternatively speaking, is the fact that if you grab like 6 coin bags, that also leads me to 30. But the ones you definitely recommend it for is, of course, trying to aim for treasure chests, because that will certainly help you out. And I'm still in the exact same place, too. But anyway, for Bobsled Run, it obviously takes place in the icicle section of the cavern, and also in Skateboard Scamper and Handcar Havoc. They both managed to take place in the lava environment, well, the lava segment in that particular cavern. And finally, Ghost Gas is like some sort of like a haunted gravestone or something. It's hard to explain about it sometimes because, again, it has been donkey's years since last time I played Minigame Island, because I'm pretty much used to with Mario Party the top 100 version of this particular mode as it is. But usually, relatively speaking, that's all I can just say about this. So, I do apologize for that particular grunting and all that stuff, just because, again, I just really cannot stress enough about the fact that how painful the rotating the control stick kind of segments is, you know, mind-boggling. So, but regardless of such, though, I'm pretty sure I did manage to make it for about 30 or so coins. So, and seems conveniently enough, I actually got enough of it. And basically I've got 40 coins, so yeah, that seems something. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next minigame, which is the Shy Guy Says, which maybe seems pretty simple and self-explanatory if we manage to get the hang of this though. And basically we just have to be the last one standing is going to be the winner, so that's basically how this goes basically. So anyways, let's begin. So gonna have to concentrate on here, so just in case I don't mess things up. And believe me, whenever we get onto Mario Party 2 version of this minigame, and oh man, that particular version is a lot stricter than the forms of how it does it in the forms of this incarnation of Shy Guy Says, just because in addition to trying to able to do something a little bit different, although again, we'll let Sylvester talk more about it until when he gets into that, so Yoshi's out, and looks like it's only down to Luigi and DK, so, or Donkey Kong, whatever you want to call it, so... Well, looks like those two are doing very well, except Luigi right there, so I guess it's just you and me, pal. It's just you and me. Alright, so... Oh, jeez. Alright, looking good so far. No mistakes, and DK managed to make a mistake.
Finish!
Whew. Yeah, there's a lot of concentration on that particular minigame, so either way, that's that. And I think we are now moving on to the next minigame, which is the Bumper Balls. So hopefully it should be a piece of cake, at least depending in the computer players department, because well, obviously we still need to able to win first place in order to able to progress. But here's the thing though, is the fact that most of these CPUs likes to able to run away, and also it just likes to able to want to make this minigame a draw minigame. Well, usually relatively speaking, just trying to make it as a draw. But even then, we'll just see what happens until whenever we, well, play this minigame. So, anyways, let's go ahead and, just let Yoshi just knock Alpha, or in this case, just trying to let, you know, other two players just trying to knock out. Even though it's not as easy as it looks, but still, but either way though, we'll just hopefully, well, just trying to able for God forbid, trying to able to just hope for luck, really, so... Okay, so it looks like... Oh, Yoshi's almost out. Okay. I think I might guarantee, we might definitely guarantee to get a time up. Or even in this case, I just got knocked out. Thanks to Yoshi, just managed to able to bump me into the edge, so... Yeah, that's kinda stinks. And look at that, for my coin counter, I was off by 1, by able to actually reach for that, particularly for that extra life. That seems kind of, well, out there. Anyways, let's try this again, and looks like, Yoshi's been replaced by, I'm guessing DK or something, which either way though, it's hard to explain just because it's been donkey's years since I actually played this particular minigame island though, but either way though, we'll just gonna have to let it happen, so... Alright, so let's go ahead and just try to... It looks like Peach is almost gonna get knocked out, and sure enough, there she goes. Now it's on you on me and you, Luigi, so let's bring it on. Okay, so let's go ahead and just... oh, he's almost down. Okay. This is not as easy as it looks, especially because... Again, these computer players love to able to run away, or even especially noticeable is the fact that they always... Well, we always ended up getting a draw, and by the way, if someone managed to get a draw, or even in this minigame's case, yeah, it looks like we definitely get ourselves a draw. Yeah, it does not count as progression, so... Yep, though we've missed. Wario, we certainly do we missed, so... If I made that particular mistake again, I think it's probably best for me for able to actually save my progress, so... And it looks like Peach has been once again replaced by Yoshi, so it seems a little bit odd, but anyway. And it looks like... Oh, jeez Louise, this is gonna be nerve-wracking at the same time. Although nothing wrong about the forms of bumper balls in general, it's just the fact that it's so easy to get a draw in this sometimes, especially if you ever play this minigame in harder computer players. But either way though, it's just a little bit of a coincidence most likely, so there goes Yoshi and DK. And once again, we are playing, well, I'm gonna be competing for Luigi, but let's not get ourselves a draw again, which... It might be seems impossible, yes, for sure, just because of computer players on hard mode always seems to know what they're doing. And I get a horrible feeling that about the fact that it will might as well get a draw again. Or maybe not. Oh jeez, that's the second time I got owned, or actually the third time actually, getting owned by Luigi. I'm guessing he was trying to say like, hey, why are you not playing as me in this particular mode? Or maybe it's probably because we already play as you, Luigi, in Minigame Stadium. But, you know, because, you know, I'm just trying to move on, basically. That's all I can really say about this green plumber. Or, in this case, the Italian plumber Luigi of any sort. But anyway, let's try this again, and hopefully we'll try to win this as much as we can. And it looks like DK is now being replaced by Peach, of all things. So, yeah, I guess that makes it obvious at that point. So... Oh man, looks like we just had a little bit of a rough around the edges, especially for Bumper Ball's minigame itself. I mean, nothing wrong with it still, but it's just that I just keep on getting owned by those computer players, even because they always know what they're doing, and plus we keep on getting draws most of the time, and even don't get me started by the forms of some of these vendetta against someone, which I think that might be seems the case, but... Again, I have no comments on that whatsoever, so... Okay, Okay, come on, Luigi. Let's see if we can able to knock you out. Thank you. Whoo-wee. Attempt number 4, it just goes off as by pretty successful. So, yeah, I guess that makes it obvious. So, anyway, I'm afraid we don't think we've got enough time for able to deal with the next few minigames in World 5, I'm afraid. But regardless of such though, we're gonna have to end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play Mario Party Minigame Island mode. That we'll have to continue things on in World 5, and possibly we might able to complete this mode if depending on time length. So, I'll see you guys until likely for next Saturday, which we're gonna be ended up in October, what else. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.